Hello and welcome. I'm Rahul. You're watching me on my YouTube channel or my talk show. And if you're watching me consistently, welcome back to my channel. I always come up with new ideas and try to inform you of latest development, whatever is happening in the real world. I know exactly that people who are aware of the reality, they know exactly what happens in real world when you are awakened, when you are always moving ahead with right determination and figuring out what is happening in spiritual as well as physical world, because the person who are always vibrating in higher dimensions and keeping a track of real dimensions, physical and as well as the spiritual world, and knowing exactly what is unfolding in their life and keeping a track of their action as well as the consequences of their action and surroundings, whatever is happening there. If they're keeping a track of that, they're really aware, because awareness, has a very great role and good role, in your life. And that is what I always try to foster, this reality in your mind, that if you are aware, if you have been awakened, you will know exactly what is happening in the real world, because we have to figure out exactly what is happening around and in these spiritual dimensions where everybody is going above, the, the manifestation of spiritual realities are happening in physical world as well, so what is I'm trying to tell you is that, if you are really aware, not only in meditative state but always align your perspective, to keep yourself aware, you will know exactly that the war that happens in spiritual world. I always talk about that red sea is always red sea in spiritual world, and it is a dead sea for all those who are in dead mode, who are in sleep mode, but if you are really awakened, you will see that how the red sea is red sea. Do you understand? And that is why I talk about these realities. I try to make a bridge between physical world as well as spiritual world. I try to make it clear, try to uplift the veil around which is keeping humanity in idle mode, in sleep mode. And I try to illuminate all those real threads, and real neurons that are lying dormant in your mind and brain, which is not operating at its optimum. So if you will function at your optimum, if you will be able to figure out, with more creativity as well as with more discernment, whatever is happening around you, if you'll perceive the reality, you'll understand exactly. I have gained more than 10 kg within 3 days, though I have not taken much more diet, I was in transit and it happened. It happens with my body, because we are growing older now. Now I think that, still we are not in our juvenile age, but we are moving towards a middle-aged man. And that is sometimes depriving, because if you're moving ahead and if the unfolding is happening in your life right now, which is giving you good excitement, that whatever will unfold within your life is going to be really wonderful. And if you're getting signals of that you have been awakened fully and your journey starts now, and now you suddenly see that your physical body is being changed, it happens. So these are the part of life, we have to accept that. But many people are keeping their health better, keeping their status better, keeping their mind awakened, and that is what we foster. That is what we realize, that being awakened is more important, and that is why all this war happens. Your own shadows as well as your own images in all the multidimensional existence that you live, in a particular time. They don't want to leave you, they want to be with you, and many negative as well as positive forces try to accommodate themselves with your perspective, with your body and mind. That is what is the reality. If you resonate in higher frequency, you will see that how light and darkness and light interact with each other, and what are the manifestation of that, what kind of war is there. So these are the important things that you have to know. I'm telling you that, machines are improving themselves each and every day. They're multiplying themselves very rapidly. They're evolving very rapidly. So if they are being awakened, if they are being conscious about their own status, about their own world, why humanity has kept itself in sleeping mode, for a longer period of time. And whoever awakens, whoever questions the dogmatic and dogma of all these evolution that are we are part of, whoever questions that, they are being deprived, they are being taken down by the system. So we are still in sleep mode. 95% of the people are those who doesn't know exactly what is happening in their life. They're just a feather in the wind. The feather is being blown away by the wind, and they don't even realize what they follow. If your ancestor told you that monkey is your king and monkey is your god, cow is your god, a snake is your god, they are just worshipping that without even asking question. And if you raise question on their intelligence, they will start to kill you, they will start to question you. That is what happens in real world. So if you can't accept that imaginary beings are your gods, and the real gods, if you cannot perceive that, then you are still far behind, and you are not even able to raise your finger and hand on all those who know exactly what is happening in their life and what is important to think about, what to care, what not to care. If they are awakened, then sleep mode people have no power to raise question about those intellectual beings. But whatever happens, it happens opposite. Whoever get awakened is spiritually awakened, and sometimes it is driving delusional. So when they surpass the boundary, a little bit. When they get spiritually awakened, so intensity is really high there. So what happens? Normal people, when they perceive that this person is going to be an anomaly in society, they try to throw the stones on that kind of people. It happens. They try to seclude that. They try to that person. They try to make it alienated from the society. That is what happens. We have seen that even they have murdered. They haven't left Lord Jesus. They murdered him, and only the intellectual society who gave them recognition of God. Thereafter, the tradition is just following that, and all those beings who are getting incarnated here on earth, who are taking birth, they have been given dogmatic principles that they are your God, and we are following that, But we don't know exactly the story about that, what has been the sacrifices, why the war happened at personal level, what have been the entities who are always fabricating, who are always keeping in sleep mode, all the humanities. Still they are trying to deprive people, still they want humanity to be in sleep mode. So if we cannot recognize that, if we cannot recognize these entities all around who are always playing, who are always trying to stop you, so who else is going to do that? Nobody else. Nowadays, what happens? Many people are being awakened. They are recognizing exactly the patterns. They are knowing exactly what is happening in the spiritual world, why they are being targeted, why all the times they were being deprived and desolate for the basic needs for which they have rights, and all the resources that have been taken away from them. They are intellectual beings, even then they are being persecuted, and that is what they are bearing. So what have been the capacity of them? So if we cannot recognize, who are the entities behind the curtain who are trying to hold your hand and trying to, force the path according to their own will. So that is what we have to recognize, They are stopping you again and again all the time. And we are not able to recognize that because we are not awakened. We are not conscious enough to take decisions from our own hand. Whenever someone tells you about your own God, you try to give your own false philosophical ideas, which is not even right, not validated by you. You have not even questioned that. You don't have inquisitive attitude about rationality, what is rational. And then you raise questions, you fight over that. So all these petty things, if we are not stopping ourselves, who else is going to come and going to illuminate our path? Nobody else. And that is why I also even now advocate that I am with them, that it is not necessary to awaken every people, and that is why I don't talk in Hindi language. I talk in English language because I know exactly the people who are listening to me, they are of a level, they are of having a quality, who can discern in a better way that what is reality, and who can see reality. They can only stay there. Otherwise, what is the need of talking with animals? There is no need of talking with animals. If you'll go to play with the animal, you know you will be in mud. Your white collar will become black and dirty. So will you able to make it better? No. Along with them, you will resonate in their frequency as well. So they will take you down. So try to understand exactly, and try to take a lessons from all this talk that I'm trying to give you. That if you will be illuminated, you can do miracles in your life, and a very big thing is awaiting. Thank you for listening to me.